Well, hello folks off YouTube. My name's Ian and welcome to my channel. Welcome to me garage. Welcome to me shed. When I grew up, nobody had cars in the street. You were posh if you had a car. You was even posher if you had a garage. Not a garage, a garage. Well, we all had sheds, so it stuck with me. It's my shed. Not been a car in there for donkey's years. Anyway, Ian's had an epiphany. Another epiphany. They're ongoing. They're a bit like a vision, but slightly different. Visions where you see something. An epiphany is a whole body experience, a whole enlightening. Well, that's what I've had. Since the scrapper launch, that is. So I've made a decision. It's got to go. Whatever I put my hand on, whatever I've been saving, unless I really need it, and unless I've already got 4 or 5 or 6 of them, they're going. And I blame Scrapping Irish and Shark Scrapper for this. On the live stream, must have kindled a burning rage of wanted space. And I've realised space is now more important than money. I'll explain in here. Well, I'm saying in here. So first of all, we're getting rid of some fire extinguishers we collected during the week. There's a heater there I've had for a while. I was going to use it for the shed. No, broke it up in there. And where's better to start than the door hole, isn't it? So I'm coming here and the first thing I see is me rocket stove. Yeah, I built it a bit of a laugh over a series of videos to make a big batch of plug soup. I'll be honest, I use the kettle. I just throw half a dozen at a time in the kettle. So that was just to get a video going, 2 or 3 videos out of it, keep you lot entertained. Well, it's been sitting there ever since. I did have another project for it, and that was, could I use a rocket stove to melt aluminium cans? And I've come to decide, well, it probably wouldn't work. I was going to like build a cage around it, fill it full of charcoal or coal briquettes, have the flames coming up, go around the charcoal, make the centre crucible red hot and melt aluminium. I think that would work. However, I just don't have the time, I don't have the space. I have access to this material forever and ever. So that's going to the scrapyard. And I'll have some space. All the fire extinguishers gone. I've got a bit more space. And then it's like, well, I keep moving these bins around. So I'm going away in the number 2 copper. I don't care what the price is. The price is higher than what it was 2 or 3 years ago when it was only getting £3 odd, £4. But I wouldn't weigh in bright wire 2 years ago unless I got £4 or £4.10. And now you're thinking, well, it's been as high as £7 a kilogram, 2.2 pounds. So we got spoiled. So now it's still up £6, and you're thinking, no, I'm not weighing it in because it's £6. Maybe it dropped a little bit. I spoke to Ellie last week. She said heavy copper's dropped down to £5.50 a kilogram. I'm thinking, oh, that's low. Low is relative. It's bloody high compared to 2 years ago. Maybe low at the moment. But now it's a trade-off between space and money. Do I hang on to that tub? It doesn't take up much room, you don't think? For, I don't know, another 3 or 4 months. So why do I say 3 or 4 months? Well, we're at the end of, almost at the end of November. Shortly, 1 month off today, 24th, 25th today, it's Christmas. It's always been my opinion, and I think others out there will agree, and do that way. You're not shining, you're not getting the shine off the head, are you? I polished my head this morning. So, you know, anyway, my opinion, every man and his dog weighs in just before Christmas. All the factories who save a little bit of this and save a little bit of that for the Christmas fund, they all go and weigh it in just before Christmas. The price plummets. All those scrapyards know everybody weighs in just before Christmas, so they lower the prices. Might be a bit too harsh on some scrapyards, but there are people there who take advantage. They're a business. That's how they look at it. The least they pay out, the more money they make. Probably, if you're listening, Marty of Scrap Kingdom, Steel Scrap Kingdom. It's always been Scrap Kingdom to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the economics of weighing in just before Christmas. Over there in the Joliet. Right, so we digress. So, you're weighing just before Christmas, price is going to drop. That's my belief. So I would have to wait a couple of months for the prices to pick up. There's been a glut, hasn't there? Everybody's weighed in. All the factories, all the people storing it in the sheds, all take it in just to spend a little bit more at Christmas. So there's a glut on the market. The exporters are not buying it. So therefore the scrapyards are not paying as much for it. Price drops, everybody starts hoarding it again until the price rises. They'll struggle, they'll hold back, but sooner or later the exporters are going to say, well, we'll pay a bit more, and the scrapyards will pay a bit more. Business, that's how the world turns round. Is the world round? Member of the Flat Earth Society, me? Yeah, we've got members all over the globe. Yeah, think of that one. Think about that one. Right, back to this. And it's tiny, other little things that people are going to say, oh shit, but when I took the door off, I hung everything back, and I had me workbench on 2 nails which were already there, which I could slide forwards and backwards so I could open the door. But what I didn't realise was, if I'd have lifted it up a little bit, so that is here, then these would slide under it, what, 6 inches away from the door, back 6 inches. Better utilisation of space. Space, the final frontier. So, we are looking a bit tidier in here. A scrap mounting, we're almost touched the ceiling now. But this is all winter micro scrapping. Actually, I could, oh no, I'll leave it. I could do that now before I weigh in. But no. So that's it. Ian's Epiphany. The eternal search for space. Right. So I'm going to crack on, get the car loaded. Right, either. Now I have to go to the Old Anvil Yard. The side of Old Anvil Yard, there's a guy called Paul who's a battery specialist. And depending on how I upload videos, this is either before my battery problem or after my battery problem. So the car wouldn't start again this morning. I have a battery tester, keeping a bit quiet about that at the moment. We said the battery was, what did it say? 75% healthy, 53% charged. So, like I said, this might not make sense unless I've uploaded the other one. And if this is afterwards, it'll make total sense. We'll see. Anyway, I phoned up, old-fashioned phone again. I phoned up and said, Paul, can you get me a nice battery for my Volvo? Something with plenty of oomph and cranking power. So I've got to load up, got to get there before he closes. See you in a little bit. Right, ruthlessness like you've never seen it before. So I've got even some gas bottles which I was started to make wood burners out of. Decided they was too old, too rusty. That's it, they're getting weighed in. Got my stainless, my number 2 wire, got my some more stainless. I've got this plastic coated aluminium sheath. So I want to see Robert and see if he'll take that, because I've been asked that a couple of times in the comments. Will the scrapyard take that? I'm interested to see what Robert says about that. Okay, off to the Anvil Yard. Is it that way? Is it that way? Well, we've made it to the Old Anvil Yard. Well, looks like they've already getting the Christmas tree up. The cogs just keep on turning. You never know when you get here just how busy it's going to be. But when they're queuing up, a couple in front of me, I wonder if that's Jed's wagging. Could be in front. Next thing is, gives us a chance to get out and have a look at the odd things that's, yeah, it's certainly a dog's life. Workmen's huts, I believe, little workmen's huts, side of the road, or even the caravans that used to go around in. A little stove to keep them warm. I think you've all seen this before, the pirate ship, the galleon, made of horseshoes. Fine little bit of detail there on the, is it called the capstan? The wing. Now, is that a lace plate? No. Now, if it is, it's turning a big piece of wood. Right. So I've got replacement battery, leisure battery for a guy at work. So that should sort my battery problem out with the car. Let's get some goodies weighed in. Every time I come here, unless I show you, I get moaned at on YouTube.
What can I say?
So this is the lovely Ellie.
Hi! Are you getting shouted at?
There's loads of people say I've got to say hi to you. So from everybody on YouTube, hi to Ellie.
Hi YouTubers!
Yo!
You're still there. You're still there, Ian, yeah?
It is. So Ellie's going to say, what the hell are you doing weighing in copper when prices have dropped?
I'm ashamed of you. I can't even look at you, Ian.
I needed the space.
Hey.
What's the balance then?
What's it weigh? What's it weigh?
What does it weigh? What does it pay?
You're thinking?
No, I've no idea. You give me £5.50 for heavy copper when I phoned up yesterday.
It's still the same. It's £5.52.
So I don't know what number 2 is. I don't know what Bright is.
Number two is £5.45. It's not that much. They used to have a massive gap between each other and they're not anymore.
And where's Bright at?
Right, it's £6.13.
Whoa, I should have brought all the rest of it in.
Ian.
Oh.
What do we think? Come on.
£183.20.
Losing your touch. Turn it off, turn it off. 240.
240 squids?
Yes. Let me make it 183.
And recording. Right, folks, look at that. It's 18 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. I don't know, the sun's already gone down. There's no sunrise, sunset at all. I think we've got the wood out. Need to put the chimney on, and then temperature's dropping. So you come in here and I kept all the what do you call it? Heat resistant fire bricks that I surrounded that rocket stove. So I kept that for another project. So I have made some space there. I've certainly made some space in here. Right. I've already cleared that area, taken the workmate off because, well, those screws need to go that high. I'll lift it up so I can put the paint tins underneath. However, that's a bit of a bodge job in it if I just unscrew them and screw them back in. So my idea is to find some wood, like that. Make a French cleat. Be careful how I say that, don't I? So stick that on, screw that on there. You know what I mean? Screw that on there with another piece sticking up. That's that. Or the underneath of that one can sit over the top. It's called a French cleat. However, to do that, realistically, I need something that's thicker than that, and that happens to be near enough the same size. So it'll be a very tight fit, this French cleat, if I do that. Stop laughing, Ian. Stop laughing. However, what sort of hoarder would I be if I didn't have something to do? So up here in the roof, safe for a rainy day, I've got a load of microwave magnets, but I've got something I think a bit thicker. So we've got that. I'll put it there. Yeah, you can see that's thicker. So that will bring the depth of that out a little more. I found a piece of plywood here, non-stick plywood. I think they use it for sheathing inside of vans. So I'll cut a strip of that off. That'll go across there. Screw, hang, bang them underneath, job's done. Right, we'll get round to that. Okay, we've been to the Old Anvil Yard. We have, listening to a bit of rockabilly. Right, what have I done with the ticket? You heard most of the prices at the yard. Shut up. And if you didn't quite catch them, then it was dry bright wire, 6,130 £6,130 a metric ton, 1,000 kilograms, or paying £6.13 a kilogram. At 7 kilogram, £43. Number 2 copper, that was all me. Windings, quite a bit less, 5,450, but 27 kilogram of that paid me 147.15. Stainless has risen. When I was talking to Scouse Jed a week ago, it was £800 a tonne, and it's now £960 a tonne. Don't forget, this is a metric tonne, 1,000 kilograms to a tonne, 2.2 pound to a kilogram. So a metric tonne is 2,200 pounds. Iron, still the same, 180 a tonne, 204 kilogram of that. It pays the diesel, £36 not to be sniffed at. Give us a nice total of 240.22. To which I can't deny it. I like to treat myself once I've had a good weigh-in. It's usually a bottle of whiskey. In this case, I went into a different supermarket. I went into Lidl's, and in the, I'm going to say, seasonal aisle, they had some rum. And this one spotted me eye because it was in a bright yellow bottle. Ron Pelicano, Jamaican rum, and I guess these longitude and latitude will show me the island where Jamaica is, I guess. I might put that on the Google in a minute, find out. Now they had different coloured bottles. I'm like reading them to see what they said, but they didn't really tell you anything. However, if you go on to type Rum Pelicano in, you get the different colour of bottles and they tell you which islands they come from and the tastes. And this one is basically, it suits my taste, I think. It's not, it's the most original rum, Jamaican rum. Others have been done in French brandy barrels, etc, etc. Others have been done with the addition of fruits. Well, no, this is, well, Ian, we're talking, you're waffling. Times this, because the cap is plastic. It's not even tin or aluminium. There's a little pop there. So, we give it a sniff. Oh, it's definitely rum and a very strong vanilla-y. Wow, well, that's not red rum, is it? I prefer a red rum, but I don't think I'm going to be disappointed with that. Wow, that's very smooth. If you're into rums, it's going to sound daft this. It's going to sound daft this. But it's got a very rummy flavour. I don't know if I could tell you what I mean. You can buy some cheap rums and they're harsh. And you think like they've been chemically made. Smell that? And it's definitely rummy, right? Not as dark. I usually like a dark rum. I like Potts 54. That's a very nice dark rum. Lamb's Navy rum. That kind of stuff. But very smooth. A sipping rum. I'm not gonna knock that. Right. That's warming the cockles of the earth, that is. Back to doing some stuff in shed. In that instance, I think I'm going to call this it. I've got to crack on. And I'll see you lot in the next vid, whatever that may be. All take care. I know it's a bit late, probably for all the people in the Americas, Canada, but happy Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate that over here in the UK, but, you know, it's there. It's your holiday. Enjoy it. See you all around. Bye. I think you see the smoke there being pulled towards the extractor fan. That's because it's not a good idea to use your angle grinder to run a line for your saw to come down. Ah well, clearing. Well, talk about rough and ready. So the saw I used wouldn't cut a pancake, honestly. So I did end up starting to saw it, but it went really off track and rough. So I ended up, as you can see, using the angle grinder and slitting disc to cut that to length. And I just thought I'd show you this little bit. My neighbour gave me this jar of screws. Brought them over and he says, I bought this jar of screws. He says, they're all faulty. And I'm like, how can the screws be faulty? And he says, like, here, look, I'll show you. You see that? He says, all the posi drives are, they're all worn, they've not been formed correctly. At which point, I think it's going to be obvious to everybody, they're not posi drives, they're torque screws. So I pointed out to him, I said, they're not posi drive screws, they're torque screws. You need a Torx bit. That's not going to show up, is it? You need a Torx bit. That's a Torx bit anyway. And he said, oh, forget it. Do you want them, Ian? I said, well, yeah, they'll always come in handy. And they've come in handy. So all those people who say, don't keep things because they'll never come in handy, they do. Now and again, things come in handy. So, there we go. You can see where we're going now. We'll go through and get some bigger ones, like that. We'll pre-drill them. See, we're not daft, us, you know. We made a mark there and a mark there. We then stick that, screw that to there. There's a gap. And if I've got it right, if I've got it wrong, I suppose I can always put some spaces in. But if I've got it right, then the bottom of that fits in that gap. Easy peasy. Rough engineering at its best. We've got one big screw in. Now, I may be rough first, I can't deny it, but I do strive for perfection. Get up a bit. Get down a bit. He wants a nudge his thing up and a little bit down. It's done. My name wouldn't be Ian if it didn't go wrong. Where do you think the rest of my drill bit is? It's in that hole. Oh dear. So, woodgineering. Woodgineering. It's a bit like engineering. It's like, well, it's a bit like everything really. It's just perseverance and having it in right gear. Right, there's my French cleat on. We've got some sticky out bits, so we'll have to get the angle grinder on that and get them off. Otherwise, you just know that the next time I open this door, I will be shedding blood to the scrap gods. Does it work? There'll be one way to find out. One-handed. Come on Ian, you can do this. Well, we've got a gap there, but we ain't got a gap. Where are we? At that end. Where's my hammer? Well, even an hammer, even a big hammer, won't sort this design flaw out. And what's the problem? Well, if you take this and you take the top one, fits in perfectly, because the bottom one, I can show this pretty well, has this. How do I show you? How do I show you? Well, basically has this flush. So when I'm saying the depth of that, so the depth of that, which is, zoom out, the depth of that, which goes in there, well, if I wanted to fit the bottom one in, it would have to be the depth of that plus the depth of that, or I cut some slots in. But if I do that, that doesn't give me the opportunity of sliding it up and down. So I think the answer, as you can see here, push, get over. That doesn't go to the bottom there, so it allows it to slide up and down there, whereas on the bottom that does go to the bottom, so you can't slide it. So the answer is, my friends, is to take that and put it higher still. Okay, my name is Ian Matthews. My channel is How to Make a Little Job Hard. Repositioned my bins to now go, instead of being here, and now go underneath, giving me a bigger walkway. Well, that's definitely it, because I've been called in for me tea. Well, it's 5:30. Let's not go through that. I'm going in for some food. See you all in the next one.